Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video from the Walt Disney World Club. Today in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at some of the rarest characters you can do a meet and greet with in the Disney World and Disneyland parks across the entire world. All of these are characters you can find if you're willing to search hard enough. And a lot of people don't get to meet these characters because of how hard they are to find, but I assure you should, because they're some of the best characters and some of the best characters to meet. They're really good, really some of the best meet and greets you can do in the parks. Okay, without further ado, let's get on to the main video. Rabbit is a classic character appearing in most 100 Acre Wood movies, TV shows, books, comics, whatever. I don't think there are any 100 Acre Wood comics though. I would totally buy them if they did exist. But he is quite a rare character, unlike Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, who both have a permanent meet and greet in Walt Disney World just next to the Winnie the Pooh ride. It's a great meet and greet for anyone who wants to go there. But Rabbit is much harder to find than them two. If you're really lucky, you might spot him in Disneyland Anaheim, in Cricket County, though he's very rare there. But if you want to find him, the best place is Disneyland Paris in Fantasyland, where he does show up fairly regularly. So if you find yourself in Disneyland Paris, go and have a look for him, because he's a great meet and greet, a great character. Not many people get to meet him, but you definitely should. I've also heard rumours of him meeting in Walt Disney World in the meet and greet with Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. Though I have not found any records of it, I have seen some people claiming they met him there in Walt Disney World in that little meet and greet just next to the Winnie the Pooh ride in Fantasyland. So I don't know, maybe you can meet him there if you're very, very lucky. So yeah, we're going to move on to number 4. Next up, we have an interesting addition to the list. We have Jiminy Cricket from the Disney film Pinocchio. Jiminy Cricket, although he has a beautifully designed costume, if I have anything to say, it is one of the best designed costumes out of any character ever put on Disney property. But for some reason, he is still very rare to find. In fact, it is nearly impossible to find him at Walt Disney World, unless you are extremely lucky and find him in just a random meet and greet. He's got no designated meet and greet locations, so you're lucky if you just stumble upon him. Take that autograph, take that photo, because it is rare, okay? If you are a desperate Jiminy Cricket fan and you desperately want to meet Jiminy Cricket, you should head over to Tokyo Disney, where he is fairly common. So you should, if you really want to, go head up there, Tokyo Disney. But that's actually a theme. I'm looking at my list now. A lot of these rare characters can be found in Tokyo Disney. So if you're looking to find some rare characters that nobody else will probably know of, then head over to Tokyo Disney. Anyway, we're moving on to number 3. So in our third place, we have Jane Porter, the empowered love interest from the Disney Renaissance movie Tarzan. Jane is a very, very hard character to find. She is only rarely... the only place you can guarantee to find her is in Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, where she does meet and greets in Adventureland. That's only in Florida, in Walt Disney World, in the Magic Kingdom. That's the only place you can guarantee you will find her. If you find her anywhere else, you are incredibly lucky, and it is extremely unlikely to find her anywhere else. But there has been at least one occasion of her greeting guests at Epcot's International Gateway. So you have a very small chance of meeting her there, but that's only been recorded once or more. I don't know the full stats, but she has been seen there at one point. So maybe you could see her there again. But the chances of meeting Jane Porter in Disney is very slim, unless you go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Then you have a good chance of meeting her in Adventureland. But other than that, you're down on your luck, or you big die-hard Jane fans. Just go to Disney World. When did they do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? It's between the August and October-ish. They probably go right into November as well. But get there, meet her then. She's in Adventureland. Look up her exact location, because I have no idea. And meet her then, where you can guarantee to meet Jane Porter. Okay, we're moving on to the top 2 now. Mushu is probably one of the best characters in Disney. I find him really funny in Mulan, though Mulan 2 is probably not the best movie. He's still quite funny in that, even though he's basically the villain in that movie, which is not that good for Mushu's image, but still, he's a great character is what I'm trying to say. It's also a great costume. Obviously, his film appearance is relatively hard to translate into the real 3D world. So I think the designers did an amazing job with the Mushu costume. It's not Jiminy Cricket levels of good, but it is still quite a good costume. But even if he does have a good costume, he is relatively hard to meet in the parks. He does not appear at all rarely in Walt Disney World, and the only time you're rarely going to meet him in Walt Disney World is if you are incredibly lucky and meet him in the Chinese Pavilion in Epcot, where he used to appear regularly, but now he might appear once or twice a year. And you've got to be incredibly lucky to meet him there. A more reliable place to meet him is in Disneyland Paris in Walt Disney Studios, where he appears most afternoon, and he's got his own little meet and greet location, so you can always go and meet him there if you want. If you're desperate to meet him, go and grab him there. He also does several exclusive events, character dining all across all the different parks, so that's another way to meet him on a more one-to-one basis, I imagine. But Mushu it's a character. I wish he had a permanent place in Epcot. That would be such a fitting place for him to be, and I would just love to be able to meet Mushu and Mulan both there. I'm pretty sure you can still meet Mulan in Epcot, but I don't know if she has a permanent place anymore, and I'm meant to be the expert, aren't I? But we're going to be moving on to one, which is one of the rarest characters you probably won't get to meet unless you are very lucky and look for him. Okay, so we're moving on right now to number 1, who is Prince John. Is the most reasonable person to be on this list, because he's not exactly the most famous character or Disney villain. When you ask me who is the villain of Robin Hood, the film he was in, I'm not going to say Prince John. I'm going to say the Sheriff of Nottingham, because that's just how I function. And what I would say, it's my answer. That's what I think most people would say. It's Sheriff of Nottingham, obviously. So that is probably why most people do not know who Prince John is, and also why they wouldn't meet him. If you just see a random lion, you'd probably think he's from The Lion King, because he's a lion with a crown on. And then if you thought that, I'd say, have you ever seen The Lion King, you dum-dum? But it is quite an interesting character, because he's very rare. He's a rare character, only because no one knows who he is really, so there are not that many records of meeting him, because no one wants to meet a character they don't know, which is very sad. I wish people would meet characters they don't know more and learn more about that character, because it just helps to keep the fairly unknown characters alive in the parks. So he normally appears around the Halloween season, so that's August to October, in Disneyland Paris. But every single year, he's becoming less and less frequent. This isn't an event or anything, just around the park he normally appears. But it's becoming less and less frequent every year, and eventually he could stop even coming out in Disneyland Paris, which would be very sad. Then if that does happen, which would be quite upsetting, the only way you could find him is in Tokyo Disneyland in World Bazaar, where he's relatively common, and you could get a good meet and greet, get his autograph, get his picture. But if you do see him in Disneyland Paris, go over, take a picture, get his autograph, just because, it's Prince John. Not many people are going to get that opportunity to meet him, so you should snatch that one up. Yeah. I think we're going to cut to the outro now. So that was some of the rarest characters you can find in Walt Disney World and the other Walt Disney or Disney parks. I hope you enjoyed this brief look at some of the rarer characters, and I hope you do go on to meet a couple of them, and I hope you have a nice time meeting them. So all I can say now is thank you for watching. Do the usual YouTube stuff, and suggest any characters I should have missed out, because I'm sure there are hundreds of rarer characters that I haven't heard of. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.